Joining us now, Detroit Free Press editorial page editor, Stephen Henderson.
Stephen, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. The Detroit Free Press has taken this very seriously in the call for John Conyers to step down. You recognize the way in which it's difficult to do that because of John Conyers' long history during the civil rights movement as really a local hero on several fronts, and yet you've still come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, I think our major problem here is the way in which these allegations were handled. Not to minimize the allegations themselves or the specter of sexual harassment in Congress, but when you look at this deal that was cut, by which this staffer was rehired for essentially a no-show job and paid in order to convince her to get rid of the compliance office process that was taking place. I mean, there is something really, really abnormal about that, I think. There is something very dishonest about it in terms of the relationship between the congressman and the people he represents. It's a breach of trust that I am still scratching my head trying to figure out how anyone in his office was convinced that this would be okay. And so, you know, after a lot of discussion yesterday, after a lot of looking more deeply into what actually happened here, putting it in some context in terms of what happens normally in these cases, we decided that the right course for him, for the people he represents, really is for him to step down.
What is it? Has his office responded or commented at all on your take? I mean, taking money, this is taxpayer dollars. He didn't pay this out of his own pocket and settle it on the side. It's stunning for the people of Michigan, a state where you've got areas like Flint where people still don't have clean drinking water, where people have had to write the value of their homes down to zero.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stunning move. I mean, there's nothing about it that strikes me as appropriate. And you say, as you point out, look, taking tax dollars to do this is part of the problem. There's no question about that. That's a very serious breach. But even if he had reached into his own pocket in order to entice this staffer to withdraw this claim, it still has that patina of hush money. Mm-hmm. It still says, I'm paying this person not to talk about something that either did or did not happen, and we don't know whether it happened. He denies that any of this happened at all.
Then why is there a settlement?
Well, I mean, I think that's more a question for a lawyer than it is for me. I don't know. I think there's something that's quite odd about the whole thing. But more than that, it is this question of trying to keep this person quiet by rehiring her mm-hmm. and telling her you don't have to show up for the job, and we'll take $27,000 of taxpayer money and give it to you. There is nothing about that strikes me as the way these things ought to be handled.